Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. We will start soon. Please, in the chat, if you can hear me, please say yes, I can hear you. If you can see me, say yes, you can see me, or just do like a thumbs up, right, so that I can confirm that my audio is good and my video is good. Good evening, Imo Abasi. Good evening, Sharif. Hi, Favor. Yes, you can see me. Thank you so much, Ismail. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So I just want to put like an update out there. Um, if for some reason you drop, right, and you're unable to join again, because we don't want this thing to be too open, right? So if for some reason you drop off and you're unable to join again, please go to our YouTube to continue, right? If for some reason you do lose us at any point. So I'm just going to give a bit of more time to people to join us, and then we would start. So let's say in 2-3 minutes we would start. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Do we have any of our current students, in this webinar? Maybe you've started with us. Do we have anyone writing JAMB this year on the call with us? Say hi if you're writing JAMB this year. Say hi if you have a child, writing JAMB this year. Let me know, let me know, let me know. If you're writing JAMB this year, let me know. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. So we're going to just give it a bit more time just to get more people to join. Let's start soon. Let's start soon. Um, Hi guys. Okay, I think we can start in. Hello guys. You have a question, Fadila? Okay, please. You can drop your question in the chat. You have a brother writing JAMB. Nice, nice. So the people that I think this session is going to be beneficial to are those who are probably writing JAMB this year. People will have people who are writing JAMB this year, right? And people maybe who intend to write JAMB in the coming year, right? The conversation today is really to tell you the mistakes people make, right? What makes people fail every year, and what we are doing at Tuteria to solve that problem. How we've been able to help people, solve that problem, and how we can help you solve that problem in 2026 and ensure that you pass and pass once, right? Our goal is to make sure that everyone who writes JAMB 2026 that pass through us, right? Our goal is to make sure that you pass, and you don't only just pass, you pass well, right? The most important thing for us is that you pass well, right? And passing well to us means you score way above average, right? We are saying that if you follow everything that we tell you, right, you can score 300 and above. That is very possible. That is very possible. So let's wait for more people to join. I'm going to start exactly 4:07. So hi everyone. So once it's 2 minutes, I would kick off. Hi guys, welcome. So I think we can start now. So I'm just going to do a bit of roll call just to um, acknowledge the people that I'm seeing now. Welcome, Charles. Someone saying something is wrong with the audio. Can you confirm if it's better now, Charles? Right. Okay. Perfect. Welcome, Charles. Ima Basi, Beulah, Thaddeus, Eniola, Moses, Patience, Ismail, Fadila, Hero, Sharif. Thank you everyone for joining. So we're just going to get started immediately. Oh, please, what do I do? Victor, what's the problem? Like, can you type it out so I can help you? Moses, what are you experiencing? Okay, we'll just start. So let's do like a recap of what to expect, during this session. Like I said, we're going to address the common mistakes and what we think is the success pathway to ensuring that you pass. Can you answer Fadila's question? Okay. Um, sorry, I need to like go. Please, is it too late to start preparing for JAMB? And if you start now, will you pass? Yes. Um, we believe that it is not too late. And that's why we are still having this session because we did have like many of these sessions in December. We even had one earlier this month, and we realized that not enough people heard about it, not enough people registered for this kind of session, right? So the reason why we're still doing it is because we know that there is still time for you to get it right, right? So I'd say that it's not too late. You just need to know within yourself that it will take you a bit of time, right? So let's say for instance, someone will start in December, spends 2 hours per day to prepare. It probably would take you 3, 4 hours just to catch up. So I would say that it's never too late. It's just going to, demand more time from you. So there's a bit more that you need to give into preparation for you to, excel. And this is why we are partnering with you this year. And we think that if you work with us and follow all the guidelines that we lay out for you, you do it exactly how we, tell you to do it. You do your preps, do your classes, you never miss any of your classes. If you do miss your classes, you go to your recordings and just, do catch-ups. You do your practice tests, you do your mock exams every weekend. All of these things are to prepare you for the actual exam in April. So it's really not late. It's not late. So if you sign up today, sign up tomorrow, you can still catch up. All the classes are recorded, the ones that I've started last week. They're all recorded, so you can catch up with those and then still catch up with the classes. You can ask questions, you can do all of the assignments. And we're confident that when the exam comes in April, you can and you will, pass. So let's go straight into it. So at the end of this session, I'll be telling you how to win the 10 million naira scholarship, right? So please hang in there. The recordings are not playing. Don't worry. We do realize that some of you guys have been experiencing problems with your recordings, but going forward from Monday, I think you start getting like your recordings on your dashboard, and that's going to be pretty much easier. So let's go straight into it. So I'm going to do a little bit about why tutorial was founded, the things that we've been doing in tutorial, and why we are the best people to have this conversation with you, and why we are the best people to actually do this with you, right? So the founder's name is Godwin Benson, and Godwin, sorry, is there a group for this? Because I need some assistance. So what group for what? Sorry, what assistance do you need? Moses, are you a current student or If you can type out the question, it helps. If you can type out the question, it helps. Dinachi, you can't hear me. Are you sure you can? Can anyone hear me? If anyone can hear me, please confirm. I'm just okay. Okay, others can hear me. Okay. All right. If you are still struggling to hear me, I think you should drop off and then try to join again. We've not hit the limit yet, so you can still join again. So yeah, back to Godwin. So Godwin was like every average child, right, in Nigeria that struggles with education, right? Unlike his peers who would maybe do their assignments and score well, he struggled in primary four, right? It could be for many reasons. Children struggles, they struggle for many reasons. It could be the teacher, it could be, the home front, it could be anything. But then he was fortunate to have a grandmother that, cared and was very present to spot that he was having difficulty in his education. And so she handheld him and helped him improve. And so throughout his education, he became a distinction student, right? So it's not really it's a different thing to be a good student, that passes. But when you're a distinction student, it means that you pass excellently well, right? And I feel like that personal experience helped him to see that not everybody has that ability to study on their own or prepare for exams on their own and pass. It's very okay to seek help. It's very okay to work with preps. It's very okay to, use different means to support yourself for your academic goal. So as you can see, he did well in his SSC, did well in his JAMB at the time, finished from Unilag with first class, worked at ExxonMobil and moved to Deloitte. And then, he left all of that to build Tuteria. So you would know that it's out of like a burning passion that would make someone leave companies like ExxonMobil or Deloitte to start something like this. John, nothing consumes, I don't think it consumes data, but I'd say that it's worth your time. So now, moving forward, we're going to try to keep this wrapped in 1 hour instead of 1 hour 30. So Tuteria has been doing this for more than 10 years, right? We've been in business, changing people's story, helping people excel in academics and different academic goal for 10 years. Now, the difference between that and this year or last year is that we've always done this privately. So it means that people reach out to us on a one-on-one basis to help them pass exams, right? But this time around, we've realized that there is a pattern, right, to people failing JAMB. We've realized that every year, the number of people who fail compared to the number of people who pass is really like worlds apart. The margin is so wide. And that's why we've taken upon ourselves to solve this problem, right? Taking it upon ourselves to solve this problem. So how exactly are we solving the problem? Before I get to how we're solving the problem, we'll address the problems, right? So let me ask you briefly in the chat. If anyone can hear me clearly and can answer, I would appreciate it. So what do you think is the reason why people fail JAMB? Why do you think people fail JAMB? Just anyone in the chat, please drop it in the comments. What do you think? I mean, no answer is wrong, no answer is right, no answer is, I just want to know what you think. What are the common things that you think are the reasons why people fail JAMB or fail any exam at all? Is anyone going to answer? Anyone that can hear me that wants to give it a shot? Fear and lack of knowledge. Thank you so much, Favor. Fear and lack of knowledge. And that's very apt, right? Sometimes the fear consumes you so much that even to read becomes a problem because you already are expecting a certain result. Because the only reason why you are scared of something is because you are thinking that there's possibility of you failing, right? Someone said not being 100% ready. Yes, I think not being 100% ready is truthfully, I don't think anybody is 100% ready for any exam. You cannot be completely ready, right? But if you do have like a structured approach to your exam, you can, to a certain level, be confident that whatever you have learned or read might be good enough for you to excel or pass the exam. Someone said time factor. Someone said lack of study. Someone said not preparing adequately. Fear and lack of consistency. Maybe what you read don't come out and in and math. Okay. Some people said don't read, but they pass JAMB. Fadila says some people don't read and but they pass JAMB. Okay, so are you trying to say that there's a factor of luck there? Someone said, I think the problem is with the students, poor preparation, or sometimes they lack the right guardians or access to resources and the pressure from parents. Lovely. Biola actually, puts, I'll say that your response is pretty it's more encompassing. It's like you put the point of everyone together, and that makes sense, right? Sometimes it's not entirely the problem of the students, right? Even though the blame goes back to the students, but not all the time. The students don't bear the blame all the time. Why? Because sometimes it's lack of access to resources. Students don't work, right? So how exactly are we expecting them to afford, accessibility to resources? Fadila said, yes, it's luck. I honestly don't think it's luck. For exams, I really don't think it's a factor of luck, right? But it's sometimes something that, people have made you to believe that, all of this is luck, but it's not luck. If you truly prepare for it, if you truly have the right help, right? You would know that it's beyond luck. So let's analyze this thing that we are seeing on our screen, right? So if 1.9 registered for an exam, right? So, and 1.5 scored below 200. Are you saying that 1.5 people were unlucky? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. Right? Fadila is really stuck on the idea that this is luck. I completely doubt it that it's luck, right? It's not possible for even in, I mean, all of us learned probability in school. So even with the laws of probability, it's not possible for you to have 1.9 million people and 1.5 million fail based off luck. That defeats the concept of probability, right? That defeats it. Do you get what I mean? So, having only 19.2% of that number, which is a less than 500K passing, that's crazy. That's very crazy. Someone says, somebody did tumbo in maths. It's luck, right? So I wouldn't say that, we don't have cases where people are lucky, but I'm trying to tell you that you can't have that many people play on luck. So they even say there's a common saying that says, heaven helps those who help themselves. There's the reason why that is the case is because they feel like a level of preparation deserves a level of grace. You cannot not prepare for something at all and expect some magic or some luck to just shine your way. The reason why you're able to do tumbo, and it's favorable is honestly because you have an idea. So it's okay for you not to know something, but you can tell if you can do like maybe like in English, they call something elimination method, where you look at, the options and then you weigh things. because you're not completely sure, but you can eliminate the things that you're 100% sure are possibly not the answer. So that cannot be luck. It's that you have an idea, but you're just not completely sure. So I want us to eradicate the idea of luck during this session. Let's completely take that mentality. Let's take it out. Let's keep it somewhere. We'll come back to it, but let's keep it somewhere, right? Let's keep it somewhere. Let's because the rule of luck is it's yes or no. So going into an exam and having that kind of mindset it means that you're going with the mindset of I can either pass or fail. I want you to get to a point where you enter the exam hall and you are sure that you will pass. You can tell what your score is before you walk out of the exam hall because you're confident. You know it that much that you become confident. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know it that well that you become confident that okay, by the time my results come out, I think I should have yeah. I think my score should be neighborhood of 300. Do you understand? So I like how the comments is very interactive. It's distracting me, but I love it. So I'm going to be going in and out of the comments. I'm just reading things out and chiming in. Someone said it's not luck, and yeah, for those who tell you that they didn't read, they may entirely be truthful, but they may have more deep level of processing information and may have known more things far better than their working memory processes immediately they see the question. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying, right? Assimilation level for everyone is different. There are people who will tell you that they've not read, right? But they do have residual knowledge from the classes they've been to, the books they've read in the past, not necessarily reading for that particular exam, but there's residual knowledge. They've written exams in the past. They didn't lose memory of those things. So when they see those questions in the exam hall, it's just from what they used to know, right? They use it to rationalize the question and try to do elimination method and sometimes end up picking the right answer. Do you guys get what I mean? So honestly, it's not a factor of luck, right? There's a place of prayer, but it's not necessarily a factor of luck. So I want us to put that mindset away and let's just assume that if we put in our best, right, we can pass, right? Luck or not. Do you get what I mean? Because having the mindset of luck is really not the best. It's a 50-50 chance if you're thinking about luck. It's a 50-50 chance. So moving on. So let me go back to this. So I want to paint this picture to you properly, right? If 70 out of 100 failed, if you want to break it down into numbers, it means 7 out of 10. And that's crazy to me. Because if 10 people write an exam and 7 fail, then I think it's beyond the student. There is a system problem. There is a resources problem. There are different things that these students are fighting, right? That is beyond them. And that's why Titera is here, to solve those problems that we think are beyond the students. We're trying to fill the gaps for these students. How can we come in? How can we support you and drive you to that goal? The goal being that we want you to write JAMB once. There is no point writing JAMB more than once. It doesn't make sense, right? People writing JAMB more than once. Do you understand? So the goal is really to have you write it once and pass very well. There is no point for you to settle for any school because your score is bad or settle for any course because your score is bad. We think that it is possible for people to desire to go to a particular school, to desire to go to study a particular course and have the scores that are required for those schools and for those courses. Because what it means is if you fail, it means that the people from last year who failed, who are going to rewrite this year, and everybody's competing for a limited slot. So why we are not, it's easy for us to say, we'll teach you how to score 200. But 200 is not a competitive score. You need a competitive score to not lose a year. You need a competitive score to be sure and be rest assured that you will gain admission into your school of choice and to get your course of choice. And that's why at Iteria, we know that everybody has it in them to do well in JAMB. We know that it is possible. Do you get what I mean? It is very, very possible. Only if you do everything that we are able to, walk you through, everything that we tell you to do, if you're able to do all of it. We've done it in the past, and I'll tell you guys, how we did it in the past, past being 2025, and, what people scored when they followed what we said they should do, right? So now, I'm going to read this out to us just so that we are able to understand. So it means that 3 out of every 4 UTME candidates won't get admission or will have to resit the exam or be forced to accept a course that they don't want. Right? What this means for you is 2.5 students will sit the UTME 2026. More students will get high scores. Admission will be more competitive. Preparation must be early and more intense. Now, because a lot of people failed last year, because imagine 1.5 people failed last year. Let's paint this scenario. Fadila, Thaddeus, I'm with you guys. This is your 4th time, Favor. Don't worry, I'm with you. If you just roll with me, stay with me on this call, and would fight this JAMB together. Because I'm actually angry. I'm angry. It's not possible. It's not supposed to be. That's not supposed to be our reality. Blessing. Okay, perfect. So it means I'm speaking to the right people. I have the right people on here, and I'm very glad. I'm very glad that you guys are here and you guys are speaking to me. So fantastic. Good. Okay. So I'm saying that, if the people from last year who failed, who are over 1.5, by the way, join the 1.9, I'm assuming that it's going to be another 1.9 that will register this year. That's already almost 3 million people competing for the same space. Universities don't even have that many slots. It's about less than 500,000 slots every year. So you see the number and you see the slots. Do you get what I mean? So we don't want you to just cram. In fact, we don't know the questions JAMB is going to set. But what we want to do is to teach you everything. We have gotten the best teachers in Nigeria. I'm going to tell you more about this, on how we are tackling this. So let me not jump the gun. Just stay with me. Everyone should stay with me. So we know that preparing for exams is beyond reading and passing. Some of you don't know how to even plan for your score. Imagine you want to do a course that the cutoff mark is 250, or you want to do a course that the cutoff mark is 290. You know that because there are so many people that might score 290, you should be targeting like 320. Do you understand what I'm saying? You should be targeting like 320. So if you're targeting 320, how do you get 320? So let's assume that your course is, let's say, medicine. I don't know what the cutoff mark is for medicine, but let's just do an instance. Let's say you want to study medicine and the cutoff mark is 290. And you are trying to get 320 so that you give yourself some sort of boost and a competitive advantage. What do I mean by competitive advantage? It means that if we have 10 people who scored 290 and above and the cutoff is 290, they will prioritize you that scored 320. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, let's say that's the plan. So let's look at this breakdown. So let's go to where exactly I have this aim here, this 320. So let's assume that your combination is English, physics, chemistry, biology, because you want to study medicine. So if I were you, this is how I would plan. For English, I'll target scoring 48. Do you understand? Out of 60. Like making sure that you score 48 out of 60 questions. Like you get 48, minimum of 48 correct. Now, let's say the next subject is physics. Out of 40 questions, I'm going to get 32 correct. If my next one is chemistry, I'm going to try to get 32 correct. If my next one is biology, I'm going to try to get 32 correct. By the time you sum up all of this, using the marks, on the right side, you would see the marks, right? You land at 320. Yeah, no, I'm trying to tell you how to target, right? And that's why I said if you're targeting a 290 cutoff, you should scale, think bigger, so that for some reason, for whatever reason, you still get above the required cutoff. Do you understand, Moses? Right. So it's not really like targeting a score, but it's very important that you have a score in mind. And it also helps you in planning, because when you are doing your mock, because like I said, when you're doing your mock tests and you're seeing the scores that you are getting, when you see that you are still too far away from the target score, which is the score that you have in mind, you know that you need to toughen, right? You need to go more aggressive with your prep. Do you understand? You need to, because that's why what we did is weekly, you have to constantly do your preps, your mock exams. And those mock exams are exactly like your JAMB exams. Like we have done a simulation. Simulation means that it is the same concept. It's computer based. The questions are asked the way they would ask the questions. They are framed the same way. So it gets familiar for you. Do you understand? And you're doing this every week. And you have about 10 to 12 weeks before the actual exam. So imagine doing 10 to 12 prep exams before then. If on a weekly basis your scores are going up, like there is an actual increase, it means that there is no way you wouldn't pass. But I'll tell you more, as we go. So now that we have learned how to target, let me know if you want me to send you this document, like this PDF after. I'll send it to you. Let me know if you want me to. So now, the next phase. I can say a lot of people said preparation is the best option, and a lot of people, very spot on. So we say practice truly makes perfect. The actual secret, the secret here is rigorous practice. There is no way. It's not luck. It's not by going to special centers. It's not by, looking for someone to send you questions. It's not by any of those. It is just by practicing. When you become familiar with something, there is nowhere they want to write that question from or pull that question from. You would see it, recognize it, and be able to attempt it, right? So when you practice, so how to get top scores? One is practice up to 10 years of UTME past questions of each subject. Now, this might sound like 10 years K. How do we understand that can be overwhelming? Is why we have built a platform that simplifies this flow for you, right? That simplifies the flow for you, that makes this possible for you, right? To study 10, 15 years questions. Blessing, I'm so sorry about your network. If you want to drop off and join again, that would be perfect. Okay, so the next one is study the failed topics, then retake questions failed. Now, if you do a test now, like a practice test, and you realize that there's a particular topic that you are failing, it's important to go back to that particular topic, study it, and then continue to retake the test till you know it. Now, don't worry, guys. I'll send you guys the PDF. So it's important that you do like an analysis of the things that you constantly are failing and go back to those topics and learn. We have also inculcated this into our products. Now, the next step to being a top scorer or get a top score is take timed CBT mock exam. So timed CBT mock exams are, they are like actual CBT exams. You will be timed. You'll be seeing your time on the dashboard, the countdown. What this does for you is that it prepares you for the exam one. It also prepares you on time management, which is very important for exams, right? Time management is one of the most important things when it comes to preparing for exams. You're not only racing to get the answers correct, right? So you're also racing against time, right? Time is counting down. So you must be able to think quickly and answer questions, right? So what exactly is our product, right? Why exactly do we have so much confidence that is making us go to the market and say that, you know what, if you partner with us, if you join us, you can score, 300 and above. What's the confidence that we have? And I will tell you. So in 2024, when Godwin got tired of the constant failure with JAMB because it was getting ridiculous. JAMB is not supposed to be this difficult. Why are people failing? Right. So we said, you know what, let's list out. And that's why when we're doing this session, I asked you guys to tell me common mistakes, common things that you think are the reasons why people fail. Do you get what I mean? So we also did that internally. We highlighted all the problems. What are the common things? What are the common things that people struggle with? What are the common things that students struggle with? Right? How can we solve these problems with technology? So being an education platform that is using using technology to drive education and make education more accessible to everyone, we wanted to see a way where we could solve these problems, right? So we went as far as bringing questions from as far back as 15 years. We analyzed those questions. We wanted to see how exactly JAMB ask their questions. What are the topics that they ask questions on? What's the pattern? Are there trends? Is there a way they present these questions? When they want to ask a question on algebra, how do they present the questions? When they want to ask questions on percentages, on profits and loss, right? How do they present the questions? They want to ask questions on biology topics. How exactly are they presenting the questions? So we used AI to predict that trend, that pattern, and see the focus areas. The next thing was we're like, okay, now that we have analyzed this, now that we are aware of what this is, now we have seen that this is so much and is almost something that people cannot consume all by themselves. So we then decided that, okay, let's break it down into a plan. So if students have 2 months to prepare, if students have 3 months to prepare for this exam, how exactly can we structure their learning such that they can take it in and still pass by April, right? So that's why we went into the market. So if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'd see, sometime last year when we were looking for the top teachers in Africa, I dare say. So for every subject, we were looking for the best guys because we felt like there is actually a knowledge gap problem. Sometimes it's not necessarily the students' problem. Some of the teachers that we have out here maybe are brilliant, but not all of them can, pass on the knowledge. So you know that there's a difference between knowing something and being able to teach that thing. So we are not saying that these teachers don't know what they're doing, but we're saying that some of them don't know how to pass on what they know. And maybe that's why some students are failing. And sometimes other teachers focus on other exams, preparing students for other exams, because JAMB is usually like an external exam, Do you understand? So maybe they've not even taken time to analyze, to understand how these exams are taken. Do you guys get what I mean? So we had to go to market to get the best guys. You are being taught by people who have PhDs, masters in all of these subjects. People who are expected to be masters in these subjects. So who is best to teach you this thing? So they are going to teach you these topics, teach you these subjects like the gods, the authorities in these subjects. Because, like I said, it is not for you to cram, it is for you to know. We want you guys to know such that no matter how the questions are presented, you understand it and you're able to pass it. Are you guys following me? If you're following me, please just do high five in the chat. If you have lost me, say Priscilla, please now I've lost you. Right. I just realized I actually didn't introduce myself when we started. So I'm going to do my introduction at the end of this session. Right. So when we finished with getting these top teachers, the next thing we did was we broke down these subjects, we broke down these lessons, we broke down these topics into weekly. Thank you, Bola. Thank you, David. So thank you, Favor. Thank you, Charles. So we broke it down into weekly achievable goals. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much, Blessing. So we broke it down and we created like a study guide that is comprehensive enough. And you know, the best thing is that the residual knowledge from this, if you prepare for JAMB with us, it will become more easy for you to sit for any other exam. So I'm saying WAEC, NECO, GC, or whatever. Do you understand? So what we did was we now structured this and produced a product, which is an end-to-end product where you take live classes from these top tutors. They're going to teach you every day, Mondays to Fridays. Every day. You have access to ask them questions. Whatever the question you have access to ask them any question. They would answer. They will give you assignments you do. You would also get daily practice questions on the dashboard. What's this supposed to do? This is supposed to keep you updated, like constantly. It's like you're updating your processor. Like you want your brain to constantly with which link? What link are you asking now? Moses, do you want to ask your question again? Sorry guys, I just get distracted. Okay, when you ask again, I'll come back to it. So you get daily practice questions. Now, the most important one and my favorite is the weekly mock exams. In fact, I skipped a step. The first step really is a diagnostic test that you would do. Once you come on the platform, you would do a diagnostic test. The reason why that is important is because we want you to know what you would score if you were to write JAMB today. If you were to write JAMB this very minute, what exactly will you score? Because that is supposed to be your motivation to know where you are right now. And on a weekly basis, you can assess yourself and see how much progress you're making and how you're getting better. At what rate are you getting better? Because let's say, for instance, you do your diagnostic test, which is also like a mock exam. This is like a CBT exam, right? It also simulates the actual exam. You can't open the Padlet. He said there is a way to have tutors to teach us, give us tests, which is important. So I'm asking how I can meet them. Oh, Moses, you get to that. We'll get to that. So all of that is what we have put together into Terra Prep. Now, we did this very thing because you might be hearing me and you're like, it's easy to say, it's very easy to promise people that you will pass. You've heard of many exams in the past, no problem. No problem. But let me tell you that we have done this before. We have seen people pass. We did this last year, and these people had about 6 weeks of preparation, of which, if you join us today, you have more than 3 months to prepare for your exam. These guys have less than 2 months to prepare for the exam, and this is their results. I'll tell you. Omoloja scored 341. Chinonso scored 338. Princess scored 317. I'll have you guys know that when these guys came in and did their diagnostic test, they were not near any of these scores. Like, they were not in any way close. They were not close by chance. But then on a weekly basis and with rigorous preparation, they moved closer and closer and closer and even surpassed their goal. They surpassed their goal. And Omoloja, because it was the highest, he had the highest score in that set, and he won 1 million naira. His intention was to go to, I think, a federal uni, but when he won the 1 million naira, his parents were like, okay, you know what? We think we can afford a private university now. We'll send you to Babcock. Do you understand? So the next person was Chinon. So he scored very high, and he got 500K because it was the second best. He got 500K scholarship, and there was Princess, who was the third best score, who scored 317 and had 250. Now, remember, guys, these are people scored this high from our prep in a year where a lot of people failed. I'm sure everybody's aware of the way people failed last year. So we know what we are doing. We have tested it, and we can tell you for a fact that a lot of people passed. Because look at our percentage compared to the national results. Do you guys get what I mean? Like, look at how well people did. Look at the national results. So it means that despite the fact that less than 1% of the people in the nation, that's out of the 1.9 people that wrote JAMB, only 0.63, that's less than 1%. Less than 1% scored above 300. And in that less than 1%, we had more than 3 students who scored that. 12.5 of our students scored above 300. Do you guys get what I mean? So this is a concept that has been tested and is proven to work. It is proven to work. So the next thing I want to say is, so how can you, if there is any parent here, or how can you help yourself if you're a student here, right? I think you can also share this with your parents, right? Because you can tell them, Mommy, this is how you can help me. Daddy, this is how you can help me in my forthcoming JAMB. This is how we can plan my JAMB score. This is how we can plan my career. So the one thing you want to do, which is one thing I taught us some slides back, is set an achievable score goal. You need to have a goal in mind. And what would influence that score is really knowing what course you want to study. When you know the course you want to study and you know the school you want to go to, and you see their cutoff, what exactly they are requiring, like what's the requirement for your course. Once you see that score, just add 20 to it, add 50 to it if you can, and set that as your goal. That if the cutoff for this score is 230, I want to score 280, I want to score 250, and I'm going to use tutorial to do that. So You create a structured study plan. I think if you join Tutoria, we have created a structured study plan for you. We have created a plan that you can follow every day to achieve your goal. Now, the next thing is to provide the right materials and resources. We are giving you the materials, the resources. But of course, you can also get additional materials, maybe textbooks if you don't have. Maybe your teacher is suggesting that, oh, this is the textbook I used to teach you guys. If you think you want to buy it, then you can go ahead and buy it. But we don't sell materials. We don't sell. Every material comes with your payment. So you're going to get that on your dashboard. You want to enforce regular practice and mock exams, right? So we have actually done that into the product, right? There is regular practice that has already been incorporated into the system. There are mock exams that you're supposed to take every weekend, right? Which is supposed to start in February. So if you sign up today, it means that you'll be able to join the entire class in doing the mock exams from February. So what this does also for you is you start getting familiar with doing tests online, right? Because it's also important. Like I said, you are racing against time. So if you're someone who is not familiar with computer and you're writing a computer-based test, you might spend so much time trying to navigate the computer. But when you're learning online with us, it's easier because you're familiar with how to toggle, because we have created a simulated environment that looks like what the exam would look like normally. Now, one thing we also do is, because of that mock exam and how you are seeing your results and your score progress, you would notice that you are staying motivated and your confidence is being built. So remember that, part of the reasons people feel, that you guys mentioned was fear, lack of preparation. So it means that if all of this thing is done, it becomes easy for you to go into that exam hall and not bank on luck. You go into that exam hall confident that you will score high. Like you can mentally calculate that, oh, in English, I don't think I missed any question. I think I got all my questions right. In math, I don't think I missed any question. I think I got all of my questions right. Do you get what I mean? And the last step is making sure that you enroll in Tutorials 2026 UTME prep. I have not seen, so this is not because I am Tutoria, but this is because I'm being honest with you. I'm speaking to you like your sister, speaking to you like your mom. And I'll be very honest with you and tell you that I have not seen any platform that prepares people for UTME the way we do. And you can quote me anywhere. You can quote me anywhere on that. We've taken our time. This is blood, sweat, and water to prepare something that is really, really, really good. Right? So what is this training? What exactly is this training? By the way, I have a discount for everyone who joins this call. So if you go on the website, you would see that there is a discount. There's a discount, but I think I want you guys to use a different link to sign up. So I'm going to give you guys a link. So I need you guys to use this to sign up. Right? Let me know if you can see the banner. So I want you guys to sign up using this link. And when you go on the link now, you'd see it at 35K. But let me tell you what you're getting for 35K. You're getting 4 months, almost 4 months, right? Because if you join this week, It's going to be almost 4 months of training. You'll be having classes Mondays to Friday. We have 2 sessions. You have the morning sessions and the evening sessions, right? You can decide to choose morning or evening. You would practice over 200 questions. In fact, you get tired of questions because there's so much that you can practice with. You get almost 16 mock exams because we count all the weekends that we have. It's almost 16, right? Um, you get live online class. Okay, I already said that, from expert tutors. Like I said, we've taken our time to get the best people who can teach. Like, so, like, forget about every other teacher that you have used in the past or have taught you in the past. These are people that we can tell you for a fact can teach. The people who would constantly build your confidence, right? And then you also get tips, and you can also mingle with other students. In fact, I joined some classes and I see students, mixing and, communicating like they've known each other for a long time in the comments. So we're going to foster a sense of community, right, amongst other students, so you don't feel alone. So Fadila, it's 50K, but because you joined this session, you can go on the website now and pay 35K. You can go on the website now and pay 35K. Hero is asking, we can't do it for free. I'm so sorry. There is so much that was put into this. And like I said, we hired the best tutors. We pulled some of them from the top schools in Lagos, right? Think about Atlantic Hall, all the middle halls, the top schools in Lagos. We pulled them from there. It's not easy to take people out of top schools that already pay well. So it means that you are paying them way more. So unfortunately, we can't do this for free. But we do have opportunities for people to sponsor you if you get lucky. But that's currently not ongoing on this session at the moment. Like this particular session, no. Now, because we also understand that we need to reward people who do well in education, because you would find people doing Big Brother, find people doing dance competitions and winning money and all of that, and not enough money is being spent in education. So we have decided that for the top 10 students, we're going to give you guys something. So if at the end of the day you score the highest in JAMB, we're going to give you 2 million naira in scholarship. We're going to give you a laptop, right? Last year it was 1 million naira we gave without laptop. It was just 1 million naira we give the top students. But this year we're increasing that. We're going to give the top students 2 million naira in scholarship and a laptop. The second prize is 1 million naira scholarship and a laptop. The third person will get 500K, top highest score. The third top highest score would get 500K and a laptop. And the fourth to 10th will all get laptops. So you see that we don't just want you to read. So alongside you getting your desired score and getting into the university this year, we want you to also be able to get into university and pay your school fee and also get laptop. So I'll tell you, this is a very good bargain. So imagine paying 35K and at the end of the day winning 2 million naira and a laptop. That's crazy. That's crazy math to me, right? So if you have any question, I think I can take questions now. If you have any question, please drop it in the chat. I'll be able to answer all your questions in a bit. So if there's any question, I know Wale Olisa is doing a great job, answering all the questions in the chat, and I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Wale. So if you do have any more questions that I might be able to answer, then drop that now. But make sure you go to www.tuteraprep.com, right? And if you want to take the diagnostic test today, if you think you want to take diagnostic test today, let me know in the chat. I can drop you the link to diagnostic test so you can take that. Eniola is asking, is it an app? So it's not an app you can download, it's a web app. So you can't download it. You just have to follow the URL that will send to you when you sign up. You love to take the test. Good. Okay. So I'm going to send you. So first of all, are you in the science class or the commercial class? Because for you to take the test today, you should be in science class. I'd like to ask, how do you handle technical issues at JAMB centers? I've heard stories of computer going off and the rest. How would you handle more technical issues that are not in your control? Here, I think what's important is asking people who wrote JAMB in the past, ask them about their experience. Like, ask people who wrote in the center that you think you'll be using. Ask them about their experience. If they tell you that, oh, a lot of laptops did not work, try to register in another center. I'm sure there are so many centers in Lagos that have good computers and you not have issues. So I think that's number one question you want to ask, right? And then that's where prayer also comes in. But I think JAMB has taken a feedback from last year and they are doing better this year. But I also think that you should ask people who have written in the past. Ask people who have written in the past about those centers. That the center you want to use, ask them that when you wrote last year, how many computers had problem? Like, did you guys experience, how did they attend to technical issues that people had? If they say that, oh, they did not answer anybody, for sure you don't want to register there. Do you get what I mean? So I also know that JAM does placements and all of that, but I think there's a way you can, walk around where you're placed. But let me know. Let me know. We can do a session on how to address that. Maybe with our students. I'm sure we would have like a lot of sessions with our students, as we go, just to make sure that they make good decisions going forward. I'd like to take the test. How do I sign up? And you'll have to sign up. Please go to www.tuteraprep.com to sign up. Commercial class. Okay, for you to do your test, Afolabi, I would say that maybe you wait till Tuesday, right, to take your test. I'll say you wait till Tuesday, but I'll still drop the link for everyone to take the test. So if you're unable to take the test, maybe like your subject is not there today, right? Because we're trying not to make it too public yet. So just keep the link, and be checking, especially from next week Tuesday, be checking. But I'd say that you should sign up between today and that Monday, so that when you're in, it's just easier for you to take your test. I like to take the test. I want to take the diagnostic test. I'm an art student. Peter Science. I was told questions come mostly from SS3. Is that true? I honestly say that they have areas of concentrations heavily on SS3 subjects, right, or topics, but that's not necessarily a problem if you go through the prep with us. But are you in SS2 right now? Is that why you're asking? Are you in SS2 right now? Can the test be taken without paying? Yes. I want to take the test now. What's the expiring date for the payment, please? For you to enjoy this discount, I think I can leave the discount open from now to Monday. I can open that discount from now till Monday for you. So if you can claim it by Monday, then fantastic. What time is the evening live classes? So evening classes start from 5 p.m. and ends 8:30. 5 to 8:30. So you do 2 classes per day, 2 subjects per day for both morning and evening. So morning is 10 a.m. to 1:30. 10 a.m. to 1:30. Evening is 5 p.m. to 8:30. What time in the evening? Okay. How long will it before seeing your results? You're supposed to see your results when you take the CBT immediately. So guys, give me a minute to get the link and send to you guys. So I'm going to send you guys the link pretty soon. Give me a minute. Mm-hmm. Mm. So I just dropped the link now. Did you guys get it? Did anyone get the link yet? Nope. Okay. So I'm going to drop it in the. I'm going to replace it. I'll put it in the banner now so that you guys can copy it out. It looks like my comments are not dropping. So what time in the evening are the class? Okay, I've answered. Does one choose only one session or can one navigate between the sessions depending? So the reason why we ask you to tell us what session you want to choose is you see the links on your platform. So you can either be in the morning or evening session. You can't be in both. Do you understand? Do you get? So we want you to look at your schedule and see what works best for you, where you can easily slot this class. It's just 1.5 hours, I think. I think it's 2.5 hours. So we want you to look through your calendar and see how you can slot it in. So you want to be sure. But of course, if for some reasons you need to change to evening or morning, you can reach out to us and we can switch that for you. Secondly, if one is able to run both sessions, is it allowed? No, you can't run both sessions. You have to choose one, but you can switch. You can switch, but you can't run the two concurrently. How do I take it for arts? Yeah, for art students right now, I think that the diagnostic test for art students has been temporarily shut down, but it will be opened again next week. So let me give you the link then you keep it, then you try it by Tuesday next week and see if it works. Do you get what I mean? But I can always send you guys an email to tell you to give it a shot again. Now we cannot see the link. Okay, please hold on. You see the link. You get the link from me soon. Guys, please hold on. For some reason, you guys can hear me and see me, but my comments will not drop. So what I'll do is I'm going to send the link to Adewale. So Adewale will put it in the chat for you. Then I will highlight Adewale's message. Do you guys get? So please hold on. Let me send it to Adewale so you can have it. The morning session is 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., please. So it's diagnostic tests. It's to be that prep.com/UTME/tech diagnostics. So can you guys see it now? Can you guys see it now? Can we see it now? Can we all see it now? I also have it like on the deck. So does anyone still have any questions? Because I don't want to keep us for too long on the call. Do we still have any question? I also put it in the chat. Let me see if I can pin the message. So any more questions? We're going to have like more of these sessions, but I also like you to try to sign up early, because the reason is the longer it takes you to sign up, the more time you would need to devote into learning, like into practicing. But when you start early, it means that you can join the class, right? And, start at the same pace as everyone. So, because if you join late, that would mean that you need to catch up on so many recordings and all of that. So, would advise that you start and join early. So, when did UTME tutorial prep start? Like, did it start years ago? Right. So, it has always been a private training. Like, we've always done one-on-one, right? And our one-on-one used to cost 400 to 500K, right? But we started to do group ones last year. And that's the one I was showing you where someone scored 341 and, got 1 million naira and the like. So that one was last year. The reason why we decided to make it big now is because we think this problem is too big and we cannot just be doing it for the people who can afford, to pay 400K or 500K. We need to make sure that it is affordable and more people can actually benefit from this, right? Because imagine 78% of people who registered failing. We can no longer keep it small and make only the people who can pay 400 or 500K, afford or have access to quality education. And that's why Tutera is doing this. We are passionate about education and we want to do more around impact. We want to make education accessible to as many people as possible. Right. I hope I was able to answer that question. Ma, why can't other teachers send their links like this? What other teachers are you saying? Send your links. What links? What links? Let me know so I can see how I can help you. What subject combinations should an art student who wants to study maths do? You want to study math? You want to go to school to study mathematics? I think you want to go on JAMB website to see what your combinations are. But we'll be having a session sometime next week or the week after to talk about JAMB combinations, like subject combinations, and how to go on the website to find that and all of that. So please look out for that as well. Ma, can I please have your email or number for more information? My number. You can have my email. But I even feel like my email might be bombarded. But yeah, you can have my email. I'm gonna put out my email. Should I put out my email? I'm going to put out the number. So I'm going to Wale, do you mind putting the number, the WhatsApp number for UTME so that people can Wale, please put the WhatsApp number, the one on the website. Let's put the WhatsApp number in the chat so that people can drop their questions there. I'm always on that WhatsApp to answer questions, so you can drop them there. Is financial technology a good course for a commercial student? It really depends on what your career goal is, like what exactly do you want to become in the future. Financial technology does sound like a fantastic career or a fantastic course to study to me. But I also think that that's why we want to have this session, because it's not enough for you to want to study a course. You also want to go to the best school for it. So we're going to have more sessions around this. So I'll say that you guys should please follow our Instagram, especially because that's where you get like timely updates. Follow our Instagram, know when we are, follow our Instagram, follow our Twitter to know when we're actually like, having these sessions and how, you can join. But we'll be having a lot of these sessions. I think the next one is not going to be like a general webinar. It's probably going to be either on YouTube or on Instagram. I'll confirm, but please stay locked. It's going to be maybe next week or 2 weeks time. Padlet. I just signed up. Yay, Favor. It's good to have you. Don't worry. You're going to enjoy it. So it means that you're going to join class on Monday. I like to think so. Some students find it difficult to click on it. But do they tell their teachers that they can't click on it? So the thing is, what you want to do is to long press to copy. I think when you long press, it copies it. It copies the link because you can't click from chat and go. Or did my own drop like this? Like, were you able to click my own link? Was my link clickable? I think that might be it. If my link was clickable, then I might tell them how I did my link, and then they would do that going forward. Sometimes it's a good course. What are the top universities to go to for computer engineering? I won't say it here. You will join that session next week. You will join. But I know Unilag is top on that list. So please, what's the WhatsApp group number? There's no WhatsApp group. We just have a WhatsApp channel, an official WhatsApp channel for those who have paid, right? Where we drop information about the classes and all of that. We can't copy either. Right. Okay, I see where the problem is. Tutorial has been around for 10 years. Yep. Yes, yours was clickable. Now, I just found out that financial technology is not accredited in all universities. Yes. So that's part of the things that we're going to teach at this um during that webinar next week or 2 weeks time. I need to confirm what the dates is. It's part of the things that we're going to teach you because it's important. You don't want to waste 3 years, 4 years studying courses that are not accredited, and you realize that you cannot go for NYSC. You can't get a certificate that works. Do you get what I mean? So it's part of the things that we want to tell you. What's your career aspiration? What exactly do you want to become? Then we talk about courses that aligns with that aspiration, right? Then we'll now come down to schools that are solid for these courses. We will now help you, we will now trickle down to cutoff marks, right? We'll now come down to course combination, like subject combinations. Do you get what I mean? Because we are aware that registration starts for JAMB on Monday. So it means that we don't want you making mistakes in your subject combinations. We want you to get it right? So I'll say that you don't rush. Make sure you have joined that session first before you pick any course right now. Some schools don't offer financial technology. Please join. Yes, Wale is, yeah. So guys, in the absence of questions, is ACA more global than ICANN? Yes, ACA is global. ICANN is Nigerian. But it's not that ICANN is not recognized. It is recognized outside Nigeria, but ACA is global. Ma'am, is it tutorial that gives the scholarship prizes? Yes. It is us. It's not JAMB. It's not JAMB. And I need to whisper something to you guys. There is a chance that we increase the scholarship. I also need to mention that we also give weekly prizes. All of that starts, I think that starts in February. The teachers are paying attention. Then I also need to mention something. Some tutors, I'm aware of the English class. Some tutors also have prizes for their top students at the end of, like, so if you scored maybe in English language, you scored maybe 98 or 97 or 100, the highest person in each subject would get like the prize for that subject. And that's outside of the 10 million, really. So there's some teachers that are already like telling their students, that they have prizes for them, right? I don't know if this is for all subjects, so, but I know that English. I said I won. I heard that. I was in that class. I heard. So you guys hurry. And I know that, imagine you scoring the highest. Imagine you getting the highest and also being the one to now get like the subject prize. That's crazy. It's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, do you have any more questions? How can I join to know my JAM combination? So I'd say that you follow the Instagram account, like follow our Instagram account. It's also Tutorial Prep on Instagram. Follow so that you don't miss out on any information. You can also follow us on TikTok. Those are like the quick channels where we can like put updates. So you can also check Twitter. Yeah, for updates. For a student desiring to study law, if it's not all about the hype, what could be the student's alternatives? Hmm. To be honest, I don't think I don't think law is hype though. That's still one of like the prestigious careers. So I really don't think it's hyped. But I think the alternatives can also like be discussed in those sessions. Don't worry, it's gonna be fully packed. How can we be getting information? If you follow our Instagram and Twitter, you'd always get information. You stay updated. For student, okay, I think I've answered all the questions. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining the session. I really had like a nice time with you guys. You guys are very, very interactive. And by far my best audience so far. So I really, really enjoy this. And thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside when you become students of tutoria, and I promise you wouldn't regret it. So if you do have any questions, if you have any questions, you can send a message or a DM to us, or an email. You can send a DM to us on any of our social media. Someone will respond. And if you want to be very official, you can send an email to academy@tutoria.com. Academy@tutoria.com. Thank you. All right, guys. In the absence of questions, bye. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.